let's join the conversation, Maddie, the conversation that's been had about this wonderful service, the deliverables that it offers children, adults, and also the staff. I mean, the staff, the trustees that we've been hearing from sound as if they're having a good time as well delivering, and they are doing great work. So in joining the conversation, I'd like to say a warm welcome to all of you, members of the WFDA, our fellow neurodiverse advocates, and any guests that may be with us. I'm looking back and forth because I've just come out of a power cut, so I'm speaking on my phone and also trying to follow on my iPad's screen because I can't see the screen on my phone. So please.
Kenyah, can you see the slides that have just been shared?
I see them, but I can't read them because they're on my phone. But like I'm going by my iPad. Okay. I've got them on the screen as well. So I'm looking back and forth. So I'll be okay. So thank you all for joining us. Your two speakers today are myself, Kenyah and Maddie. I'm phoning in from Uganda. I'm usually in Rwanda, but I'm in Uganda at the moment. And the other presenter is Maddie Kamara. So this particular feedback on WFDA is quite close to my heart because I'm one of the advocates, and I've been with the team nearly 2 years now. Not as an advocate, I've been an advocate for nearly a year, but I was part of the adult meetup group. So it's really, really interesting to see how things have moved along. But to start with, I'll give you an overview. The main objectives of the WFDA adult group are to be inclusive of the neurodivergent voice, support well-being, develop skills of communication, share knowledge, support opportunities, provide a network of neurodivergent people, and to develop training opportunities. The program's deliverables include screening for neurodivergent conditions, advice and support via Zoom program of talks by neurodivergent people, training for advocacy and personal growth, collaboration and research, participation, writing academic articles and journals for magazines, and any other research that our neurodiverse advocates decide that they're going to take part in. Also networking face-to-face and online, which I would say myself, we're very good at. The sessions are mainly online. They last between 1.5 hours to 2 hours. The regular attendance of these sessions are between 20 and 30. Neurodivergent adults attend from London, Scotland, Wales, Southern and Northern England, and East Africa, Rwanda. We also have Zoom invites that go out 3 days before the event. So we're always kept up to date of when the events are. We find them quite precious. And they reach 200 people plus, all those on the WFDA database that Catherine has been diligently keeping. We also receive flyers for each event that's posted on the FDA data website. And what we could also have included is the recording that we receive. So for those of us that do miss the events, we've got the recording to fall back on. About us advocates. We are a dedicated group of 15 advocates representing diverse backgrounds, each contributing to the program in unique ways. All advocates have a primary diagnosis of dyslexia and one or more neurodiverse conditions, e.g. autism, Asperger's, ADD, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, and others. Our professional and lived experience backgrounds include the homeless sector, events and hospitality, wellness and fitness, social media, assistive technology, education, mental health, special needs, planning and enabling, construction and property, fundraising, and social justice. And all our advocates are very, very enthusiastic about the work that they do. And we're all very able and competent in our professionals' identities. Over to you, Maddie.
So good evening, everyone. So as an advocate as well, I've been an advocate for over nearly 2 years. And over this time, we have many talks from all of us. As you said, we've got over 15 advocates. And as you can see of some of the talks that we've had in the adult meetup. Couple examples here: becoming a social entrepreneur, on how a business policy affects the way of Nostradamic people. Pardon, I can never pronounce that word very well. Other kind of talks that we've had as well continue. Sorry. Other kind of talks that we've had as well: designing your mind, and mindfulness. That was very useful, and listening, and other talks we've had continue. Sharing too much and over talking. All these talks have been very inspiring and developed us all in our personal journeys and in our professional journeys on all the talks been given to us. Within being ACCA, we've had we've had training as well. We've been very blessed to have a few external ones training. We first, when we started the program, there was a couple of sessions to understand what our role was to be, and that was very good training to understand what we needed to do to support other people and how it will help us and help other people. Then we've got other training we did was around building self-esteem, body language, and about strategy of active listening. All of those trainings are very useful for our own personal development and for professional development. As well as within an advocate as well, we've been having social events that has helped with our own personal growth and mental health and well-being as well, because it's important to socialize with like-minded people, like-minded people just outside of professional state, outside professional as well. So the events that we've been to have been Christmas events, summer meetups, funding with, they had great food. Everyone tries to remember people's birthdays, and that's really good. And we have another meetup, sort of the last one in January, as it comes to an end, as we all know, in February. I'm now going to pass you back to Kenyah, and she's going to feedback about the feedback from other sorry, my voice.
Right, my voice should be going, but I'm really excited about the feedback. A few months ago, we were asked to contribute to an evaluation process for the group, and some of the feedback is as follows. The combination of the screening for neurodivergent conditions, then referral to the adult group work was considered excellent. Participants that took part in the screening felt that it was very much worth attending, and it definitely gave them a new lease on life, because it was very important for them to identify who they are as a neurodivergent person and what it means for them. With regards to training, this was thought to be very well focused. On the management scale of the project, it's working very well, especially the balance between informing and supporting the right balance of structure and flexibility. Many advocates would definitely testify to that. There is also freedom when we're attending the workshops, when we're supporting others with the workshop. There's freedom to design the workshops and also get guidance from what would you call a manager, director, coach, mentor. There are many ways that we could describe Catherine, but she's definitely there to provide guidance, and we all provide guidance to one another as well. There's a bit of what we call a reflective practice going on. Over to you, Maddie.
Thank you. Other feedback that's been given around personal development, as I mentioned before, empowering people, to empowering people within our group. We have done developing new skills, communication skills, technology, and working as a team. And another important thing, and I always think is important, is networking as well, and understanding what it is to be an actor, as I said before, as a role, mentioned that bit, and talk about communication and digital skills that I feel is important as well, because being within doing it, I found out so much more that I could use in my professional and in my personal different websites, different kind of little tricks and tips that we've been able to use to help us develop us as well in our workplace and other issues.
The advocates team's support was described as being very, very helpful. The tools for advocacy enable the group to work effectively as role models. The teamwork is excellent as we are like-minded people. We are less isolated with the peer support. We definitely appreciate it. And at this particular point, I'd like to say thank you to all you advocates out there. You all support me, and I know you support one another. The WhatsApp group, this has definitely been the way forward. We've recently set up a WhatsApp group, and I don't always get time to add to it, but I do a lot of the reading. It's an effective tool in between talks and presentation to keep dyslexia and other neurodivergent conditions in focus.
So the next steps, what are the next steps? As you are aware, the program will come to an end roughly next year in February time, but there is ideas of looking at setting up different things, as we mentioned before, and see what funding's around. One thing that we're looking at setting up is a writing group that seems really interesting. And there is other work that will be going on. Is still working with the journal that's coming up. Some of the Africans already do. That's already wrote in the journal. Like Emma and Leslie's already wrote into the journal. So we're going to do some more articles. Would be good for that as well.
And is that the AchieveAbility journal, Maddie?
AchieveAbility journal.
Okay. Can any of our advocates who are present today share any of their next steps?
We've got Andrew, we've got Dee, we've got Linda, I think, was here. Sadia. So there are quite a few advocates here.
I could share a little bit if that's okay. Hi, I'm Dee. I did the Advocates program this year, and I do a day job in a library, but I've been doing a project which I got Arts Council funding for, called Dyslexia Feel Good Fun Day, and that's an interactive series of interactive arts-based events, with the big event being next March, where people are going to come, do workshops, go attend drop-in stalls, and just do lots of arts and crafts type things, which involves arts and crafts, but also things like dance, music, theatre, etc. And it's for all ages, and it's going to be in London. That's what I've been doing.
Many congratulations, Dee, on all your hard work. And I know that you have worked very hard on it. In terms of the advocate work, what we've been doing for the past 2 years, we've got Andrew and we've got Linda. Who I can't see who came first. Was it Linda or Andrew?
I think it's Andrew. Sorry to.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've been looking at doing is I've been building up my Twitter profile, and I've connected with quite a lot of autistic academics via Twitter, and also promoting this idea of neuro-inclusion through Twitter. I mean, I can go and get it. I've just bought Robert Chapman's latest neurodiversity book. He's an associate professor up in Bristol, and his new book is all about you won't be able to see it, the Empire of Normality, and he's done a lot of advocacy work in that university, and he's made real good change for people who are on the autistic spectrum and have other correlated conditions. And through work, you know, I do a lot of training now with our autistic students and staff, training around neurodiversity as part of my role. And you know, the message is getting out there, and obviously we were successful in securing, you know, a £43 million contract for DSA, and we are the sole provider for assistive technology for university students. So kind of, and long may it continue. So it's all about the positivity, and once you break down the barrier, and believe me, you know, although some people will say a lot of negative things about Asperger's syndrome, as my mentor said to me, there doesn't have to be any negatives, because it can often coexist with dyslexia and dyspraxia, and there are many, many strengths.
Brilliant. Thank you, Andrew. And it's good to know that you're linked into such an amazing provision. Linda.
Yes, thanks. Thank you for inviting me to your AGM as well. I was an advocate last year, but dropped out because I had some physical health issues, which were taking up a considerable amount of my time. But I just want to actually talk about from the perspective of a person who's been attending the adult meetups. I haven't been attending the advocacy groups this week, but have used the adult service. And I just want to say that things have been quite difficult for me. And I have found the comradeship actually very, very helpful in actually dealing with other challenges as well. So it's not, our lives are not just because we're neurodivergent. We intersect with everything. And my finding myself with a sort of physical disability has brought a different perspective, which I'm now working my way through. But actually having the advocacy group, having the adult meetup has really enabled me to stay focused and to not panic. So I just want to say that even though people might not be actively involved, you know, there's 20 or 30 of us that have really, really benefited from having this opportunity to reflect, to calm down, to have empathy, and to understand that we're not alone. And I think that's a really important message that we need to hold on to. Just want to also add that I thought the presentation of the work that the advocacy group has done this year was of such a high level. It made me feel really proud to even just be on the fringes of it. I thought it was really, really good. So thank you very much for doing that. That's a lot of work that's gone on in there, and I was super impressed. So that's me.
So many congratulations to all of you, and a huge thanks to Kenyah and Maddie for putting themselves out there and doing this AGM and doing this presentation on behalf of all the advocates and the people who attend the adult groups. Yeah. And I think from what you're hearing from Dee and Andrew and other advocates, there's been huge developments going on, and people have got the confidence to go out there and